What if the future you fear is not a threat at all, but a mirror showing you who you really are? What if the signs that shake the world are not here to destroy you, but to wake you? Every generation stands at a crossroad, and now it is your turn. You feel it in your chest when the world grows louder, more uncertain, more fragile. You sense it in the way time feels heavy, as if something is building, something you can't quite explain. That weight you feel is not random. It is a call, a warning, a chance. The prophecy of August 2025 speaks of fire, a double fire, and the world trembles at the thought of destruction. But fire is not only a force that burns. Fire is the element that shapes, that forges, that refines. Fire is what turns raw iron into steel, and steel into the sword that protects. You are not here to watch helplessly as flames rise. You are here to decide what those flames mean for you. They can consume you, or they can create you. And that choice will determine everything. There is something powerful in the way prophecy captures the imagination. It grips us because it forces us to look beyond the surface of life. Prophecy is not about predicting events. It is about revealing truths. When you hear about visions of fire, chaos, and change, it is not just about the world outside you. It is also about the fire within you, the battles, the fears, the weaknesses, and the strength you have yet to uncover. This is why prophecy shakes us. It points to the truth we would rather ignore, that we must face ourselves if we want to survive what is coming. You already know that time is moving faster. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and before you realize it, another year has passed. That is why this moment matters. The prophecy does not whisper of tomorrow to scare you. It shouts about today to wake you. August 2025 is not simply a date on a calendar. It is a marker in history that asks one question: will you rise or will you fall? Imagine for a moment that everything you have faced so far, every hardship, every failure, every tear, every lonely night, was training. Training for a fire that would demand the strongest version of you to step forward. Would you still see the fire as destruction, or would you see it as preparation for transformation? The pain you have carried has not been wasted. It has been shaping you, sharpening you, calling you into the strength you didn't know you had. That is why you are still here. That is why you are listening. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of fate. You are a participant in destiny. Prophecy is not meant to chain you. It is meant to free you. It gives you vision when the world around you grows dark. It reminds you that the fire may surround you, but it does not have to destroy you. It can purify. It can awaken. It can ignite something within you that no one and nothing can extinguish. So do not turn away from this message. Stay with it, because what lies ahead is not just a warning about a world on edge. It is an invitation. An invitation to rise into the person you were always meant to be. An invitation to look into the fire and see not your end, but your beginning. This is why you must listen. This is why you must hold on, because the double fire is coming, and it carries within it the very spark of your transformation. The fire you face is not only in the world around you, it is in the world within you. Every challenge, every conflict, every hidden fear has been its spark. The double fire is both external and internal. One burns through nations, systems, and structures. The other burns through hearts, choices, and desires. Both rise at the same time, and both demand your response. You cannot control the flames of the outside world, but you can master the ones that rage within your own soul. That is where your true power lies. Fire is feared because it destroys, but fire is also revered because it purifies. It strips away what is weak, what is false, what no longer serves a higher purpose. The heat may feel unbearable, yet it is that very intensity that produces strength. Think of how gold is refined. It cannot shine until it has been through fire. The same is true for you. The double fire is not here to erase you. It is here to refine you, to push you beyond the limits you once believed defined you. Every human being carries two fires, the fire of destruction and the fire of transformation. One consumes without giving back. The other shapes, strengthens, and awakens. Which one grows depends on which one you feed. When you give in to fear, anger, division, and doubt, the destructive fire spreads. When you choose courage, resilience, unity, and vision, the transformative fire takes over. The prophecy does not say you are doomed. It says you are being tested. It says the flames are rising, but they are rising to reveal what you are truly made of. Ask yourself with honesty, what fire are you walking through right now? Is it the fire of personal struggle, where doubt tries to break you? Is it the fire of relationships, where trust is tested and love must be chosen even when it's hard? Is it the fire of purpose, where the weight of responsibility feels too heavy to carry? Whatever your fire may be, know this: you are not inside it to be consumed. You are inside it to be refined. The flames that seem to surround you are the very flames that can awaken your deepest strength. Psychology teaches us that human beings grow not in comfort, but in pressure. Pressure forces us to adapt. Fire forces us to change. The more intense the trial, the greater the potential transformation. That is why so many who have walked through seasons of fire come out unrecognizable, not weaker, but stronger, wiser, more alive. If you feel like the fire is too much, it is because the version of you on the other side of it is greater than the one standing here now. The double fire is not a curse, it is a mirror. It reveals what is fragile so it can be broken, and it reveals what is eternal so it can endure. Do not despise the flames, do not resist them. Let them burn away what no longer belongs to you. Let them strengthen what cannot be destroyed. The fire is not against you. It is for you. It is the hand that shapes you into the unshakable. So when the world trembles and the heat of prophecy feels overwhelming, remember this truth. The same fire that destroys the unprepared becomes the refining ground of the prepared. The same flames that bring fear to many can bring power to you. You are not helpless in this fire, you are being forged by it, and when you rise from it, you will not just survive, you will shine. The visions of fire do not exist in isolation. They echo ancient truths, patterns that have repeated across generations, across civilizations. Jonathan Cahn reminds us that prophecy is never random. It carries a rhythm, a warning, a lesson that humanity has often ignored at its peril. The double fire is not simply a warning about external chaos. It is a call to recognize the cycles of judgment and renewal, of collapse and rebuilding that have shaped the world and will continue to shape it. It is a signal that the forces shaping destiny are not outside your control. They are calling you to awareness, to clarity, to action. You feel the weight of these forces because you are conscious. You sense the urgency because part of you knows that the fire does not wait. It moves without pause, consuming what cannot stand, refining what can endure. The same patterns that destroyed complacency in the past are alive today. Nations, communities, families, and individuals all encounter the flames. But the power lies in recognizing that this is not a passive experience. Prophecy demands participation. It asks you to confront the truth of your time, to measure the strength of your resolve, to face what you might otherwise avoid. The psychology of human transformation is simple but profound. Change does not come through comfort. Real growth is never passive. It is forged in tension, shaped by challenge, sharpened by pressure. The visions of fire are a reflection of this universal principle. They reveal the trials you must face, the inner battles that determine who will emerge resilient and who will falter. You cannot avoid the heat, but you can choose how it shapes you. You can choose to see it as an obstacle, or you can see it as a test of character, an opportunity to rise higher than you have ever imagined. The double fire carries a dual lesson. One fire exposes weakness, bringing fear, anxiety, and confusion. The other fire reveals strength, courage, and clarity. Both are present and both are essential. Without the fire that tests you, the fire that challenges your limits, you cannot recognize the fire that empowers you. They exist together, inseparable. You cannot have refinement without trial, courage without challenge, vision without struggle. The intensity of the heat is proportionate to the greatness of the transformation it brings. Every thought you allow, every choice you make, every fear you confront or indulge is fuel for one of these fires. The destructive fire grows when doubt dominates. The transformative fire grows when you choose courage, discipline, and clarity. Each moment of conscious action feeds the flame that strengthens your soul. The world around you may erupt in chaos, but the inner fire you cultivate is your refuge, your compass, your weapon. It cannot be taken from you unless you surrender it. August 2025 is not a distant concept. It is a reminder that the moment for transformation is now. The external events that shake nations are mirrored by internal fires that test individuals. What will you feed? Will you allow fear, despair, and resignation to control you? Or will you rise into the fire, allowing it to awaken strength, vision, and purpose within you? The power of prophecy lies not in its ability to frighten, but in its ability to illuminate. The double fire is here, and it will touch every life. It will reveal the weak and empower the strong. It will expose what is fleeting and forge what is eternal. The question is not whether the fire exists. It is how you will stand within it. Will you be consumed, or will you be transformed? Will you allow the flames to define you, or will you rise and define yourself through them? The choice is yours, and it begins in this very moment. Fear is natural. It pulses through every human being when the future feels uncertain, when the flames of change draw near. It whispers doubt, magnifies weakness, and convinces the mind that surrender is safety. But fear is not your master. Fear is a signal, a measurement of the magnitude of what is at stake, and a reminder that courage is always possible. The double fire tests you because within the test lies your greatest opportunity. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act despite it. Every moment you choose faith over doubt, action over paralysis, you feed the fire that strengthens your spirit. Faith is the anchor in chaos. It is the force that allows you to stand when the world trembles. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a conscious decision to trust your inner power, to trust the process of refinement, to trust that even in the heat of trial, something greater is being forged within you. The flames may roar and the winds may howl, but faith gives you stability. It reminds you that the fire is not an enemy. It is a teacher, a sculptor, a catalyst for transformation. When fear pushes you to retreat, faith pushes you to stand taller than ever. Every human being faces moments that feel overwhelming, moments that demand everything you have and more. These moments are the fire within. They are unavoidable. What separates those who rise from those who fall is not circumstance, it is response. The double fire will expose weakness, but it will also uncover hidden strength. It will strip away comfort, complacency, and illusion, leaving only what is real, what is strong, and what endures. The intensity may be unbearable at times, but the result is unshakable resilience, clarity of purpose, and unwavering courage. The psychological truth is that pressure breeds power. When the external world challenges you, it is also revealing your capacity to grow, to adapt, to rise above limitations. You are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and more capable than you have allowed yourself to see. The fire does not destroy potential, it exposes it. It demands that you confront what is hidden, face what is uncomfortable, and push beyond the edges of your perceived limits. Every choice to rise, every moment of disciplined courage, feeds the fire that shapes your destiny. This is why the prophecy is not simply a warning, it is a call to action. The world may tremble in August 2025, but trembling alone changes nothing. What matters is how you respond. Will you allow the chaos outside to paralyze the power within? Or will you turn your focus inward, harness the fire, and transform fear into fuel, weakness into strength, uncertainty into vision? The fire within you is already responding to the world around you. How it grows depends entirely on the choices you make. Remember, the double fire is not a punishment, it is an awakening. It strips away the superficial to reveal the essential. It challenges the unprepared and elevates the prepared. It separates the passive from the proactive. Every trial it presents carries within it the opportunity for mastery, for courage, and for clarity. The flames are here to expose, but also to empower. The question is not whether fear exists, but whether you will allow faith to rise higher than it. Will you feed the fire of courage, of focus, of determination, of unwavering belief in your capacity to endure and transform? Or will you let fear dominate and diminish the potential that is already within you? The choice is yours, and it is the defining choice of this moment, of this fire, and of the path that lies ahead. The fire that surrounds the world cannot be separated from the fire within yourself. External chaos is mirrored in internal struggle, and internal mastery is reflected in how you face the chaos around you. Division, conflict, and uncertainty test the bonds that hold people together, but they also reveal who is capable of unity, who can rise above self-interest, fear, and doubt to act for the greater good. Human beings are at their strongest when they move as one, when connection and collaboration amplify courage and multiply resilience. The prophecy warns of division, not to instill despair, but to highlight the transformative power of unity. Unity is not passive agreement, it is active strength. It is the deliberate choice to align your vision, your actions, and your courage with a purpose larger than yourself. In times of fire, isolation weakens, but togetherness strengthens. Every act of compassion, every decision to stand with others rather than against them, feeds a fire that cannot be extinguished. The world may tremble, but shared courage, shared determination, and shared vision create a force that reshapes reality itself. Division spreads fear, unity spreads strength. You have the power to decide which fire you will nurture, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. The psychological truth is undeniable. Humans are wired for connection. When people align their goals, support one another, and act with collective courage, they become unstoppable. The fire may challenge systems, governments, and societies, but it also exposes the potential for extraordinary collaboration. The strongest nations, communities, and movements throughout history have risen in response to crisis, not in spite of it. Your ability to cultivate unity within your sphere of influence becomes your greatest weapon against the chaos outside. Even in the face of global uncertainty, the double fire is an invitation to rise together. It exposes weakness, but it also exposes opportunity. Every division you overcome, every barrier you break, every act of cooperation you embrace magnifies the transformative fire within you. This is how prophecy becomes personal power. The flames may attempt to consume what is fragmented and fractured, but what is connected, resilient, and aligned grows stronger under pressure. Your strength lies not only in your individual courage, but in the courage you foster in others, the trust you build, and the vision you inspire. The internal and external fires are intertwined. When you face personal struggles with integrity, when you act courageously in the small spheres of your life, when you embrace unity over conflict, the power of the external fire diminishes in its ability to intimidate. You create an unshakable core within yourself that no external circumstance can penetrate. You begin to see the flames for what they truly are, not enemies, but mirrors, teachers, and catalysts for transformation. The moment demands action. Complacency strengthens the destructive fire. Courage strengthens the transformative fire. Unity amplifies resilience. Every choice you make matters. Every decision to act with purpose, to collaborate rather than isolate, to confront rather than avoid, feeds a fire that reshapes the future. August 2025 is not simply a warning about what may happen. It is a call to cultivate what already exists within you: strength, vision, courage, and connection. The fire spreads, the world shifts, and uncertainty grows. But in the midst of it, your inner strength, aligned with unity and purpose, becomes unbreakable. The double fire challenges humanity, but it also elevates humanity. Those who embrace it with courage, clarity, and collaboration will not merely survive. They will transform themselves, their communities, and the world around them. Your choice is the spark that determines which fire dominates, and that choice begins here, now, within you. Prophecy is not a spectator sport. It demands engagement, responsibility, and deliberate action. The visions of fire call you not to panic, but to prepare, not to flee, but to stand. Every moment you hesitate, every choice you defer, is a moment the fire can exploit. The double fire will test not only your courage but your willingness to take ownership of your life, your decisions, and your destiny. The weight of what is coming is not meant to crush you. It is meant to awaken you to the magnitude of your own power. Responsibility is the bridge between fear and mastery. When you take responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions, you step out of the role of a victim and into the role of a force. The fire may rage around you, but it cannot control you unless you surrender your agency. Every decision you make, no matter how small, is a declaration. You are not passive, you are not powerless, you are not defined by circumstance. The flames test this truth repeatedly. They expose where responsibility is ignored, where courage is delayed, and where vision falters. But they also reveal where strength, clarity, and integrity lie, waiting to be wielded. The psychology of empowerment is rooted in ownership. Humans gain strength when they recognize that their choices create consequences, that every thought and action shapes their reality. The external chaos of August 2025 mirrors the internal chaos each person must navigate. You cannot control the world, but you can control your stance within it. You can decide what you will nurture, what you will resist, and how you will respond. Every act of accountability feeds a fire within that cannot be quenched. Every refusal to surrender strengthens the inner fortress that no external challenge can penetrate. The call to responsibility is not abstract, it is immediate. It demands reflection and action simultaneously. What habits are you clinging to that weaken you?